Flying inside a cloud or fog is dangerous. Certainly it is. But it also depends on the type of cloud. Small clouds that form above thermals are called cumulus clouds. These clouds are usually not dangerous, and we could enter them as long as we have clear airspace. If we are flying in a crowded area with other paragliders or within a valley surrounded by mountains, it is not recommended to enter even small cumulus clouds. Here in Costa Verde, we don't have cumulus clouds because there are no thermals. We fly over the sea, but fog layers or stratus clouds do form. This fog that develops along the cliffs is generally not dangerous, but when it is very dense and the ceiling is very low, safety is compromised. If we take off with a very low fog ceiling, we could quickly lose our orientation and end up crashing into a building. We might drift too far out to sea and land in the water or collide with another paraglider that has also taken off. The most dangerous situation is colliding with other paragliders inside the fog. Does this mean we should never take off when there is a layer of fog? Not necessarily. As long as there are open air spaces where we are flying and some areas remain visible, we can still fly safely. In such cases, we must remain vigilant, ensuring that our landing area is not covered. If we notice the fog thickening and the landing zone becoming obstructed, we must land immediately. If the landing zone becomes completely covered, we still have the option of landing on the beach. Communication is also crucial in these situations. Using a radio, we can notify others of when we plan to land or warn others who may be taking off. This helps prevent collisions. If we accidentally find ourselves inside the fog, we are fortunate that this type of fog does not suck us in as other cloud formations might. The ascent rate remains the same as it would be in normal conditions. In such a case, we can orient ourselves and fly toward the sea to escape. At this moment, I am approaching the fog layer. You'll see that the ascent rate remains unchanged. It doesn't vary. Only through a significant oversight would someone end up deep within the fog. That said, being inside the fog feels much the same as regular flying conditions. It's true that the air density in fog is slightly higher, which provides better lift. This can allow us to fly in lower wind conditions than usual. For instance, here, we typically need at least 15 kilometers per hour of wind to fly. But with fog, we could fly with winds as low as 12 or 13 kilometers per hour because the denser air creates more lift. Now, as I'm flying above this fog layer, the conditions are calm. Visibility is sufficient, and the lift is steady. I can see some paragliders disappearing into the horizon due to the fog. To ensure safety, I adjust my flight path to maintain visibility of others and ensure they can also see me. Visibility is critical when flying near others. At this point, I was emphasizing that I was flying in very light fog, which is safe as long as visibility is maintained. However, flying in dense fog or fog with a very low ceiling is not safe. Similarly, I don't recommend flying under cumulonimbus clouds, large storm clouds, or nimbostratus clouds, which bring rain and storms. These are extremely dangerous. If there's heavy cloud cover, the safest action is to land immediately. Flying under small cumulus clouds is generally acceptable. In fact, we often do this when flying thermals. It's even possible to enter cumulus clouds, but only under certain conditions. You must be flying alone, with no one nearby, as entering a cloud alongside others could result in a collision due to a lack of visibility. The flight area must also be free of obstacles such as mountains or cliffs to avoid crashes. While entering small cumulus clouds isn't entirely legal, as paraglider pilots are required to maintain visibility, it is a common practice among many pilots. However, I reiterate that this is not a recommendation. Flying inside a cloud is generally unsafe due to the loss of visibility. In Miraflores, We often fly in light fog because we have ground support monitoring conditions. A ground supervisor evaluates the density of the fog and regulates the number of pilots allowed in the air. If the fog becomes dense, only one pilot may be allowed to fly. When the fog is light with a high ceiling, there may be no limit to the number of pilots. That's all for this video on flying in fog. I hope you found it helpful and interesting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.